Ah, did I scare you? Hey, don't worry, it's nothing to be ashamed about. I'm a pretty intimidating guy with how charismatic and cool I seem from across the room. Hi again, guys, and welcome back to me huffing copium. It feels like every week I look back on my time as a toddler, pick all the things that scared me and felt out of my control back then, and put them on blast in a YouTube video, like it changes a damn thing. And today I will be throwing eggs at internet screamers. You guys know what I'm talking about. If not all of them, then at least some of them, like the scary maze game, that one commercial of a car driving. These are by no means a dead genre of content, but in the early days of the internet, it was a lot easier to scare someone with them because people hadn't learned that you can't trust anybody you know to show you something actually cool. And because it's been so long, I wanted to go back and take a look at how these screamers make me feel now. Go figure, a lot has changed since I was a toddler. I just don't think I'll find these scary in the same way I did back then, but not for reasons that are cool to admit out loud, you know, like maturing or whatever. Honestly, a lot of the things that used to scare me kinda get me bricked up now. When I was 7 or 8 watching Spider-Man 3, the thought of the Venom symbiote terrified me. Him bonding to my body and just taking control of it kept me up at night, terrified, shivering. Fast forward to 2018, when I saw Venom the movie. I don't know, I thought about him controlling my body and taking it over, and I felt significantly different about it. Still kept me up at night, though. Basically, I'm gonna be rating how hot each of these screamers are. If you enjoy the horny posting on main, what's wrong with you? But also, there will be this VIG card at the end that takes you in another video like this one. And did you know only like a fifth of y'all are subscribed with notifications on? That really hurts. Seriously, if you subscribed and hit the bell icon, you'd never miss another upload. It would mean a lot, it's free, takes 2 seconds, and you can always undo it later if you decide you hate me. We gotta start with the one that probably made all our hearts first drop out of our assholes, the scary maze game. If you don't know what this is, God, you must be young and also lucky. It was that game where you had to use your mouse to guide a pooey and tiny little square through different levels of mazes without touching the walls on your way to the end. If you did graze the wall, then you had to restart the whole thing. By the time you got to level 3, the hallways were getting so thin that you could practically feel the walls cupping your ass cheeks from either side. And right before you're about to complete the level, no matter if you hit the walls or not, this picture shows up. Wait a second, no, that's the pretty version. I meant this picture shows up. And it just starts blasting screams out of your speakers, probably blows them out. It might be where the term screamer for these kind of jump scares originally came from. Part of me wants to see how we could do the scary maze game with modern technology. How many people could we give heart attacks if we took the mechanics of that game and put it in a seemingly innocent VR chat world? Somebody's just fully immersed in their headset and not touching the walls, and they just get jump scared out of their skin. They fall backwards, cracking their skulls on their desk, leading to tons of lawsuits. On second thought, maybe we should just keep it to the computer screen. Anyways, the lady in that picture is Linda Blair from the movie The Exorcist, and that image of her kind of has a life of its own. She was the jump scare image for so much popular shit back in the day. For instance, another well-known screamer is this 2006 video with almost 80 million views where a real ghost got caught on tape. Around the 16-second mark, she just scuttles towards the screen like a deer on a trail cam and sticks her nose right into your face. God bless that new feature on YouTube that shows you where the loudest part of the video was. It saved me from my balls just jumping off my body and running away because this was somehow my first time seeing this video. There is this legendary car commercial screamer that I think still gets new people to this day. I see it on TikTok every now and then. I'm gonna play it now, but there'll be a countdown for what it's coming, or you can skip to this timestamp if you just don't want to be seeing that shit. Okay, are we all here? Is everybody's pants freshly browned? Good. My favorite part of this commercial is that it just shames you for getting scared. It laughs at you for having a long enough attention span to stick it out, then tells you to go back to being a wage slave for doing that. Which, unfortunately to me, is a really funny thing to say after scaring the bodily fluids out of someone. First things first, I would not fuck the zombie thing. It just isn't doing anything for me. And this got made as a commercial for a German drink company called Kwite. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what they were trying to achieve with this. It has not motivated me to buy their product in the slightest. It shell-shocked me, and now I'm paralyzed. I am not gonna be participating in any consumerism until I get over this shit. I'll tell you, that's gonna take a minute. I'm gone. This next one is a screamer favorite of mine, and it's not even necessarily a screamer because it's all visuals if I remember correctly. I'm gonna go through it and scare myself with it again real quick just to check. Hey guys, yeah, I bet you didn't expect me to look like this. Believe it or not, this is how I am on the second channel, and people who only know me from that think I look like this all the damn time. Twitch.tv/Kwite if you want to see this baby in action. Anyways, we have this old classic little webtoon from 2011. Can't pronounce that. It's written written and illustrated by these fellas, or person. I am assuming it's a studio. This story is based on true eyewitness accounts. It was around 11:20 that night. I was dragging myself home exhausted after a tiring night study session at school, but there was no one on the street, which I thought was strange. I usually see a lot of people, even at night since my apartment complex is pretty big. She's just casually flexing that she lives in a nice-ass apartment. Yeah, I live in a penthouse, 3 stories, roof deck, helicopter pad, no biggie. Anyways, feeling scared, I kept looking down at the ground while walking home. Eventually, a shadow stretching towards me caught my eyes, although there wasn't anyone around me. I looked up to see who there was, and saw a woman walking in front of me. You might want to get that checked out, ma'am. It's not looking good. I could say that she looked crippled. She was limping and struggling to walk in front of me. Since she was walking very slow, I soon caught up with her. Up close, I was able to see her even better. She was wearing dirty pink pajamas, and her body had been twisted. Worse, her hair was a mess and sticking out everywhere. See, this is the part where you scram. Clearly you're faster than her, so why even bother trying at this point? What you gonna do, catch you on those legs? It seemed so weird that I stopped walking and turned around and the comic ended there. I felt like I shouldn't get any closer to her, nor did I have the guts to pass her by. You know, people say that if you are really surprised you can't even scream? That was right. I froze there, not being able to move at all. Where is my baby? Her thoughts were racing to her question. Oh my god, I don't even know what I was thinking when I did that. It gave me chills thinking that moment. I answered, pointing as far as I could. Over there. I just wanted her to get away from me. Then she limped towards where I had pointed to, and I couldn't see her anymore. Feeling that I might run into her again, I tried to turn around and leave the apartment complex. I could not think of anything but to get to a place where there would be people around. At that moment, she is not here. I heard her screaming from far away. I don't remember anything from then on. I heard that my neighbor found me passed out on the ground and took me home. In 2007, at an apartment complex in Seoul, a 33-year-old woman jumped off the apartment and died on the spot. Known as Surname Cho, a divorcee due to her extramarital affair, she had lost custody of her 2-year-old daughter and decided to commit suicide. Supposedly, she's been caught walking around the apartment complex several times. Yeah, no, that's still one of my favorites. One, because the art is still really good to this day, but also it's the most creative one of these jump scares that I saw when I was younger. It's the only one I look back on now and think, wow, the way they did that was actually really neat. There hasn't been a scare quite like that for me since I first peed a little because of it. Let me just put you in my shoes if you think I'm overreacting here. We're used to screamers coming as jump scares in videos or being triggered by certain things happening in a video game. When I first opened the link to the comic, it looked like it was just pictures, like a normal Smack Jeeves webpage or some shit. I thought I could scroll down at my own pace, and whatever scary stuff was up ahead, I could just choose to not scroll down onto, only to have my sense of control shattered and have that first auto-scroll section come up. This webtoon shows you quickly who is in charge of the situation. It can make you look at stuff if it wants to. You can get fucked if it wants you to. After that first scare, it does give you a chance to pussy out now that you know anything could happen, but it pulls you into a false sense of security and makes you think you're safe again by having the mother walk away. Like, the threat's gone, nothing else is gonna happen. You're like, at least that's over. Might as well finish the comic if I got past the worst part. Until, you know, it isn't over, and then it auto-scrolls again to make it look like the woman is crawling at you. It's honestly a really clever way of getting you scared with the same gimmick twice in one sitting. I can't think of another screamer that's pulled off a double penetration session on me quite like that. And it does this all by sucking you in through dialogue and pacing. It's all visuals and no sound at all. I don't even want to talk about if the mom who tries to kill you is bangable. What I'm saying is if this webtoon was a person, it would probably be very beautiful and also really into body horror, and I would be attracted to that hypothetical person. This next one is a bit more of a niche one, but it's a screamer that has a seat deep in my heart personally. I don't know how many of y'all grew up on Xbox Live playing COD Zombies, eagerly awaiting every DLC pack on Black Ops 2 like a little gremlin to hear the next chapter in the zombie story. But if you did, you might remember the Mob of the Dead Easter egg where on the roof of Alcatraz, if you scoped in with a sniper rifle into the fireworks you can see from there, there was a spooky little secret waiting for you. I won't lie, the way I found out about that originally was trial by fire. My friends told me that part of the big story Easter egg on that map was needing to look into the fireworks with a sniper, and I trusted them, so I did it like an idiot. I screamed so damn loud, I probably blew out my shitty little Xbox controller mic with hurricane force winds. It got me grounded for being too noisy on a school night. Now, it was a shame I had to find out about that little secret like that, but like with other screamers, the only way to feel better about it is by doing the same shit to other people. The reason this one is special to me is because the internet internet was old enough by then that people had become suspicious if you just tried to show them random short videos. It's just getting your friends to do something that got them to stare at a screen with complete focus had become harder and harder. But this Call of Duty streamer came with a built-in excuse to get people to look at it. And any friends you play with probably are already familiar with the timeless tradition of having to do a bunch of really random, dumb, and pointless bullshit in order to complete the Easter egg on any map. So if they were wanting to do an Easter egg they hadn't done before, they just assume that whoever is in charge of looking at the steps to it was telling the truth when you tell them to do something. So when they say you look at the fireworks, you don't even think about it. You just get scared and ruin a TV by throwing your controller at it. The aftermath is just as bad. You get mad at the rest of the squad for the next 24 hours until you decide to come back and talk to them again the day after. Okay, that last part might have just been me projecting. I just know I threw a pity party for myself when I got sacked. Back on track. A common trope of the old internet screamer is hiding the horror behind a children's franchise. I have talked at length about Sonic.exe and its consequences for all of creepypasta media, but plenty of early screamers took that kids franchise but it's fucked up actually approach. I haven't played a lot of these, but I figured it'd be cringe if I didn't include some of the more popular, and in a lot of the cases, funny examples. There is the Luna game, which is actually a series of 6 games, Jesus Christ, and it's a horror version of My Little Pony. That's just the main creepypasta series, but I have no idea how they managed to stretch that storyline into a series with more installments than Devil May Cry. Another dastardly one is just called Where's Waldo, and it was posted on Newgrounds in the early 2000s, I think, and it's just played super straight. It's branded as an interactive, flash-based Where's Waldo game, just a passionate fan of the series bringing it to the web browser for a new generation of people to enjoy and the last generation to relive. The thing is, the motherfucker who made this played the long con, because the original version actually wasn't a screamer. You could find Waldo in it and win for real. The dude was building his credibility. And then, a few months later, he uploaded a new version where Waldo isn't even in the damn picture. And while you're sticking your eyeballs right up to your computer monitor, letting all that blue light into your cornea, after 30 seconds of looking for some shit that isn't even there, another jump scare from The Exorcist comes up with a loud-ass Mortal Kombat scream playing. I feel like The Exorcist movie was solely responsible for half the scary screenshots that made us wet our pants through our childhood. I reckon you could do a lot of damage to the timeline if you went back in history and just stopped that movie from ever releasing. This next one is a bit interesting because it has a somewhat long past, and it's called an.jpg. The scare itself is just a web page that instantly flashes a picture of Jeff the Killer on screen while making a really loud noise. The pic will flicker between the normal and a color inverted version a bunch of times, and it's been redirected to with a whole lot of links. One of the more famous ones was findminecraft.com. Do not go there, because Dan TDM already did that shit for you. Flashing colors / epilepsy warning on this next bit. Go to this timestamp if you're trying to skip it.
Last button. Okay, it's asking me to open this link. Let's try it. Okay, here we go. Findminecraft.com. Oh, jeez! Stop.
I know the dude who made that map was absolutely cheesing over this video getting made. He's like, yep, I just got the biggest Minecraft YouTuber of all time. Get fucked. In my opinion, that's not even the most eyebrow-raising website that redirected to this. If y'all remember the game agar.io, somebody registered a common misspelling of the site agor.io where they replaced the second A with an O, and they had it redirect to that an.jpg jump scare. It is a really committed bit, but I just can't imagine being willing to spend money on a domain to scare kids who you're not even gonna see get scared. Maybe just the passive thought of, just made a toddler shit their pants is enough for him, but fair. He just had it out for those poor fuckers trying to pass time in computer lab. I heard there was a parent who posted to Reddit about it after their kid had suffered an epileptic episode because of it, but I wasn't able to find a source fully verifying that or not, so I'm not sure. Now, I don't know if these count as old internet screamers, but they are certainly some of the most well-known these days. Five Nights at Freddy's jump scares pretty much set the standard for what people think of as the modern video game jump scare. People were, and still are, obsessed with every detail of these things. On the surface, yeah, they'll make you jump out of your chair and leave a brown stain where you were sitting a second ago. But then you have the people who go and seek these out. There are just millions of people spending 10 minutes of their lives reliving what at one point was probably the scariest thing they had ever seen. People were dissecting these things like frogs. They ended up finding where the original screamer sound in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 came from, and it was apparently the sci-fi horror film from 1981 called Inseminoid. A crazy-ass title, and without watching the movie, it seems like yes, that name has a lot to do with the plot. I don't have much else to say on the FNAF screamer, it just feels like an honorable mention. Anyways, that's all I got for today. That card I mentioned should be on screen, and if you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, or I'll cry. This has been Kwite, and